Namaste, greetings from Buddhi Clinic. How well do we understand what sleep does for us? And what does sleeping well mean? Sleeping well means that we sleep adequate number of hours and we sleep deeply, and when we wake up we feel refreshed and we don't feel sleepy right through the day as we are going through all the tasks that we want to do. Sleep requirements are different for different age groups. So babies, until they are a year old, they need to sleep between 16 and 20 hours. That is what we get to see. And that is where a lot of growth happens, both at the brain level and at the physical level. Toddlers, they need to sleep again between 10 to 14 hours. And as the child grows older, up to 10 years, it's around 10 to 12 hours. And then in teenagers, it's up to 8 to 9 hours. And in adults and elders, it is 7 to 8 hours. So what really happens and why is the requirement different? Because there's a lot of healing and repair which happens. What are the symptoms that should alert us in terms of sleep that we are having a problem? So if you are not sleeping adequately, like I mentioned, for the particular age, so if it's a child, if it's not between 10 to 11 hours of sleep, in an adolescent, it's not 9 to 10 hours of sleep, in an adult and elder, if it is less than 7 hours of sleep, then we are looking at a problem, because inadequate or insufficient amount of sleep can result again in daytime sleepiness and problems with mood and with memory and with a lot of metabolic problems as well. So do we have problems in starting to sleep, which is called sleep initiation? So do we take more than 30 minutes to start sleeping? We are just lying around in bed and then we are using our gadgets, or we aren't using our gadgets but we are not able to sleep. So does it take more than 30 to 45 minutes for you to sleep? Then that's a problem which needs addressing, which is called sleep initiation insomnia. So when the oxygen level to the brain falls, it results in arousal, that is you wake up, and that is called sleep fragmentation. So if it happens several times in a day, so you can imagine how poor the sleep quality will be, and that, as I said, results in a lot of daytime sleepiness and disruption in our daily work. The next is snoring very loudly, that you can be heard outside the room. So this is a symptom of sleep apnea, which I've just described, obstructive sleep apnea. And this needs to be addressed as well, because it causes so much of daytime sleepiness that you will not be able to focus on your work. The attention gets impaired and the mood also gets impaired. We get irritable and we are not able to get on with whatever we are supposed to be doing. The next symptom which we need to look out for, which the patient will not be able to tell us, but this is a history from the family. It could be a spouse or it could be a parent or a child who is observing what is happening to the patient. So they could be seeing jerks of the limbs, the lower limbs or the upper limbs. It could happen rhythmically, which is called periodic limb movements, or it could happen otherwise non-rhythmically, which could be because of seizures. So we need to assess such a patient. And it does fragment sleep. It reduces sleep quality because the patient keeps waking up because of these jerks, but then again goes back to sleep. But then this again disrupts the sleep quality and as well as the daytime activity. Another problem which can appear in sleep disorder is the person is aware of the surroundings, but the person feels paralyzed in the limbs. It could be the upper or the lower limbs. Person is aware of what is happening around him, but is not able to respond, which is called sleep paralysis. It can happen in the initial phases of sleep, or it can happen in the terminal phases of sleep. It can also be associated with episodes of sudden weakness of all of the limbs and the jaw opening or the eyes closing, and the person seems to be sleeping for a short period of time. And these episodes can happen in various parts of the day, along with the night episodes that I just spoke about. So this is called narcolepsy and it has a number of symptoms. How does poor quality sleep affect your mood and your memory? So these can be affected across ages. So generally, if we don't sleep enough, we can find ourselves very irritable, and we may feel withdrawn. We may not want to participate in any activity. We may get angry. So we may have a lot of emotional dysregulation, as we call it. And with regard to the memory, we will not be able to focus or be attentive on the task that we are supposed to be doing. So it does affect academics in children and young adults, students, and it does affect your work in office, and it does affect your work